Hey guys, another mission today. It's going to be Supremacy, one I've been practicing a fair bit lately. This is a lot like Quadrant Control, but there are four consoles in each of the quadrants in the middle. Now, the main focus of the game really is the quadrants. If you end a game round with more quadrants than your opponent controlled, you gain two objective points to their zero. If it's tied up and you each have at least one quadrant, it's 1-all. So what you want to be doing for this game is to maybe tie it up 2 game rounds, and for 1 game round actually get that 2 point lead. If it does turn out to be a bit of a tiebreaker though, you don't manage to get ahead on the quadrants, you can win by controlling more consoles at the end of the game. And of course there's the classifieds as well. But yet again, because this is a end of game round scoring situation, taking second turn is so much better than having first turn. I've really found that in these missions, because if you are going second, you can defend well enough unless you're doing something wrong, unless there's a problem with the table layout or terrible luck, or you're just making a mistake. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. This particular game, I am going first, and part of that is just to see if it's possible for me to actually get an edge, even though I'm going first with that handicap. Running vanilla YuJing with the Guija, it's always a joy to try and run that model, and taking a pheasant rank chain of command to try and back it up with Guija being the lieutenant. So this is deployment for me going first turn. You can see that where the Guija is positioned, there's a stack of white crates with a blue camo marker next to it. That is my opponent playing Caledonia. He's infiltrated Uxia McNeil onto the crate there, and she's prone, so I feel like I'm going to have to move the Guija away from her position later in the turn. Otherwise, in his responding turn, he'll be able to attack. Also got some new bridges and things, and walls, and a little tower there from Zen Terrain. Really like their scenery. Next image, you can see this position here. So I've got the boarding shotgun pheasant and a Guangxi here, just in case Uxia comes across the ledge. But the Guija doesn't really want to be hit by an assault pistol, or he doesn't want to find himself in close combat with her, so I might have to move him out. Next image here, you can see a bit of a look at his deployment zone. So this building here, the Angry Bear Pub, he's got the team here, the 5-man link team with like 3 HMGs in it. He's got a lot of these blue camo markers which I've lent him for the game, mostly SAS troopers and the like, and of course all of the Scots hanging out the back behind these walls here. So again, my opponent taking second turn. I won the lieutenant's roll off, but I did opt for first. Next image, this is the other corner of the table. You can see the Guija's position at the top left, his link team at the top right, but at the bottom right, he's got a position below the photo, William Wallace and a couple of other berserking friends over here, but pretty lightly defended on this side of the table. Next image. Okay, so taking the first turn, although you can't really see it in the photograph, the Guija is moving around the corner, and there is a link team opposing the top of the photo, but the HMG guns them down in short order. Good thing about the multi-HMG is it's got shock rounds, so that prevents him from using his paramedic to revive them, so quite effective there. Note there's an orange camera marker on the stairs. That's just one of my Guilang forward observers prone. Next image, turning up with a Tiger Soldier with Spitfire in this list. William Wallace is the top right, but facing the wrong way, so we just pretended that we couldn't really see around the corner there. Actually, no, I think the reason I didn't move the Tiger around the corner is because William is actually facing the right way, and he's got a chain rifle. Unfortunately, though, what happens with the Tiger here is he goes around the corner and tries to mow down some guys, the HMG on the roof, and I think my opponent rolls a crit or something and kills me, so the Tiger didn't do very well in this particular game. Next image, what's happened, sorry, I'm thinking of a different game. The Tiger does actually kill the guy on the roof, so the Tiger's hanging out next to some boxes. Now if you look at this photo, what you've got here is the orange camo marker on the left is a mine, and the one on the right, I think it's a mine layer, having moved around the crate after deploying. And the grey model here next to the console is a Kaisotsu hacker, so that secures this console for me earlier on. Next image. Okay, so the Guija, having moved next to this little billboard here, gone into suppression fire just in case Uxia shows up, and we've got Guangxi hanging out just in case she comes around over the top. Next image, my opponent really having to move out with some of his irregular, impetuous troopers, but even though the Guija does manage to get line of fire to them, doesn't manage to beat them in face-to-face with his explosive round, HMG. Next image over here. Okay, so this is what happens. He moves up with one of his Caledonians here and tries to kill the tiger. Actually, with the HMG, the link team, so does manage to gun him down since I'm on suppression fire mode and didn't suppression fire mode and didn't actually have the range. So he does take out the tiger. Another image here. You can see what's happened. So we've got the link team commander here with his armor-piercing HMG and basically moves out behind cover and fires at the Guija at long range there. The Guija does manage to survive but pulls back behind cover with the failed Scuts check after taking a wound or two. Next image. Okay, so with the tiger destroyed here, he's moving up with one of his Caledonians here towards the objective, and wisely doesn't come around the corner because there's a mine there. And of course the Kaisotsu ready to fire his gun, not that that would have made a lot of difference. Another image. Okay, so they're basically around the corner from each other. You can see the Guija in the distance in the top left taking 2 wounds. He now moves up with his SAS trooper in camouflage to try and take out the objective, but fails the whip check, so doesn't actually secure that for the Scots. Next image, you can sort of see what's happened. He's tried to back away from it, so again moving 4 inches away and in the same order trying to attempt to take the console, but just getting really unlucky with his willpower checks and failing to secure it at all. Another image shows you towards the center of the table, we've got another camo marker having moved forward next to this blue red crate and gone prone. And I've got a Guilang at the top of the staircase there, also prone though, so maybe in my turn I can move out and discover him. Next turn again, okay, on the other side of the table, Guilang, forward observer. This is my turn too, moving up behind the crates here and shooting down one of his Caledonians, so getting the kill there. Next up, moving behind some crates, and at this point the Kaisotsu can now come around the corner freely and take the second console, and we've also got the Guija having moved out from its position also. Another image, at this point the Guangxi coming around the corner, there's a camo marker to the left which is a Skyarm, which as we previously saw was the SAS trooper trying to take the objective but failing, but he decides not to reveal himself, so the Guangxi actually goes for a discover on the model to the top right here and reveals it, and then gets into a bit of a firefight with it at close range and takes it down with a pistol. So the Guangxi doing a lot of work here. Next image. Now we've got the Guija moving well away from Uxia McNeil's position. Actually, this is the point where the Guangxi has revealed this model at the top left here. The Guija moves to a point where I can just get line of sight from the silhouette to the prone marker and blast them with the HMG, so that's pretty easy work for the Guija there. In the next image, you can see the Guija's final position over there, but we've now got a chain of command pheasant rank clearing up this secondary console, so I've actually got 3 of them now, and then he's able to move back into safety, but still within the zone of the quadrant. Another image. The Guija now moving further towards the right-hand flank for YuJing. You can see the marker's been placed on the consoles to show that I've got 3 of them, and at this point he's got cover, so basically armor 11 against most things, and he's taken 2 wounds, so trying to survive here, but at least he's in a really good position to fire off the explosive AROs that he's known for. Next up, my opponent's turn 2. He's moving around the side of the table with his irregular troopers, throwing down some smoke grenades. And again, now moves out with the link team, the 3-man link team it's been reduced to, with the AP HMG, and gets into a firefight with the Guija. However, finally, after playing the Guija in so many different games and doing terribly with them, I get a little bit of luck here and roll a crit for my ARO and exploding on him basically. So Really good turnout from the Guija in this particular turn, managing to survive and staying inside the zones, most importantly. Another image shows us the left-hand side of the table, so we've got a war corps having a bit of a firefight with his flash pulse against that SAS trooper. I've got a minesweeper here which has moved up inside the quadrant, and of course the pheasant rank which is also inside the quadrant, but that SAS trooper just not managed to get anything done over there. Another image shows him trying to gun down the Guangxi here with his rifle, but the pistol firing back with the Guangxi actually managing to win the face-to-face roll here and force the SAS trooper back. So my opponent just really getting himself a bit frustrated with the dice at this stage. Another image, he's got yet another camo marker. It is Ariadna after all, moving along the gangplank, the walkway overview, towering over the table. You can see from his perspective that there's also a Guangxi down the bottom there and a Guilang which is prone further down the stairs, but he's basically crawling behind this crate and staying prone himself. Another image, we've now got the Guangxi, and this is my third and final turn, moving over here with his impetuous order and firing his pistol at this Scotsman here and getting the job done. Actually, I think I remember shooting him. Moving to the next photo, we've got Uxie McNeil, still hasn't moved out the whole game, just hasn't found that right opportunity for her to be used. So the Guilang moves further up the stairs and stands up, allowing line of sight to Uxie, and she decides not to respond, so the Guilang attempts to discover and passes. So in the next image you can sort of see here the position. It's using the sniper rifle model, although this is actually a Guilang with a combi rifle, and easily able to use his MSV1 and height advantage there to get free reign over this point. So one more photo with Uxie, she is now revealed and the Guilang is able to fire at her with the combi rifle and just needing 14s to hit basically, so does manage to shoot her up and get rid of that threat once and for all. Next up, our Guangxi, which is doing so well in the center of the table, moves over and goes for discover on the camo marker, and I believe succeeds again, just doing really well with the discovering. Another image here, so the Guilang that's recently taken out Uxie McNeil now moves further up the stairs and gets to a point where he can attempt to discover on the SAS trooper on the walkway, on the bridge. And this is a great position for the Guilang because it'll allow the Guilang to move across the bridge and get into one of the enemy zones. So next image, we've basically got a very close range firefight here where he's moving up and actually eventually getting into combat, just to prevent that particular model there from moving to the side of the walkway and getting shots at anything else on the table. So it really will delay him, especially as he's really low on orders at this point. Another image here, we've got William Wallace moving up to engage the Guija, which is now controlling a very important enemy zone. So with William Wallace moving forward and getting ready with the chain rifle, he should be able to take out the Guija, but the Guija, if you look at the next photo, returning fire with the flamethrower. And this will mean that, see, my option here was to either dodge or to shoot, and if I dodge he just keeps attacking me and I might fail the dodge because I'm at -6, so I need like 11s. So I decided to go for the trade, shooting the flamethrower at William Wallace and unfortunately failing my chain rifle attack, my chain rifle armor save. So yeah, sadly losing the Guija at this point. Another image here shows our Scotsman in battle with the Guilang, who has actually placed a mine as he's walked into close combat because my opponent chose to dodge, I think, as I walked forward, fearing that I would just shoot him. So placing the mine there just makes it absolutely more likely that things would happen. And if you look at the blurry sort of battlefield overlooked by these models, the Guija actually has a smoke grenade on it, so I actually forgotten what happened. I think William had actually thrown a smoke grenade at him instead of firing the chain rifle, and the heavy flamer had just gone off on him. I played this game so long ago and I've just saw the photos, for the life of me, I can't remember exactly what happened at that point. So again, let's move to another image. So at this point, he's got his right-hand side quadrant controlled, and that's pretty much it. I'm still holding on to the other 3 quadrants, so just moving out with some more of his troopers, just the few that he has left. Another image here shows the the SAS trooper going into my side of the territory. He's now killed the Warcore and the Guangxi and the Minesweeper, and is able to lay some decharges on my console here to prevent me from taking that. So that's how that goes. And this is in fact the last photo of the game, because the game ends. And I think for one of those particular rounds I managed to actually pull ahead on the quadrants. No, I can't remember the game outcome specifically, but I believe I either got the quadrant 2-0 at one point, or it was just drawn for the entire game, but I had two consoles to his nil. So this was a win to YuJing, but interesting scenario, and really fun use of the Guija. Really quite enjoyed using them a lot. It is very difficult to actually get a model like that working due to all of the drawbacks. Anyway, thanks for watching this one, guys. We'll see you next time.